Hey guys, just a quick thing before the video. If you haven't already subscribed to my backup channel, please go ahead and click this link to subscribe to my backup channel. And also, there are now ways to support my channel on YouTube. So if you like the content that I produce, please consider supporting my channel on Patreon or consider supporting my channel via PayPal. Once again, thank you and enjoy the video.
Never start, got cars that never start. No plan B, can't sleep, my mind racing. Brown paper, put it underground, build the foundation.
Okay, so you probably noticed that right from the opening bell, Floyd takes the center of the ring and he refuses to take a step back. You will notice Manny Pacquiao making use of feints, even attempting to jab, and Floyd just stands there, and he refuses to step back, just like what he did with Canelo Alvarez. And you also notice that Floyd is aggressive right from the first round. And I think this actually offsets Manny Pacquiao's game plan, because I don't believe that Freddie Roach and Manny Pacquiao expected Floyd to come out so aggressively, especially not in the early rounds. So still in round one, we see Manny Pacquiao attempt to set up his straight left hand by actually establishing lead foot dominance on Floyd. You notice Manny Pacquiao attempting to step his lead foot to the outside of Floyd's lead foot while moving to the right side in order to bring his left hand in line with Floyd. And so as you can see, Floyd is great at timing his opponents once you establish lead foot dominance. This is something I talked about in the fight prediction video. You see that as soon as Manny Pacquiao steps that lead foot to the outside, Floyd is able to offset that straight left hand by immediately timing Manny Pacquiao with his right hand. Manny was already having trouble finding his range, as you see from the previous video I made. So Manny Pacquiao begins jumping in and falling into his attack versus Floyd, coming in at Floyd in a straight line, which is never effective. And as you can see from this image right here, you see Pacquiao falling into the attack in a straight line, and Floyd is able to simply check hook and turn Manny Pacquiao. And this is exactly what you do for a guy who is attacking you, who is aggressive, who is rushing onto you. A check left hook is one of the best ways you can escape off the ropes. No different from the Arum versus Walter Castillo fight, where you see Castillo, the pressure fighter there, being aggressive, and of course Arum utilizing the check left hook to not only be offensive at the same time, but to be defensive in order to pivot off the ropes. Now as we come back to Mayweather versus Pacquiao, Floyd was keeping Manny on the outside of his range. You see him measuring at all times. You see him occupying Manny Pacquiao's guard and his defense at all times. And he's using that lead hand to not only protect himself, but to determine how far he needs to be from Manny Pacquiao. Now, after checking Manny Pacquiao's lead hand, you see Floyd leads with his own right hand, which is what he typically does versus southpaws. So Floyd would like to check the lead hand of the southpaw, moving to the inside or to the outside, and then he will lead with right hands and then step away using that foot speed as his defense. Now, when Floyd misses a punch, he would control Manny Pacquiao, and this is something that a lot of people fail to take into account. Floyd turns his missed punches into control. So Pacquiao has never faced an opponent who would miss a punch and then control his head, push him down, roughhouse tactics like this. And of course, like I always say, champions must control their opponents. There's simply no way around this. Controlling your opponents prevents return fire. And the thing I always say is that, return fire truly is unacceptable. This is something you don't want to take. Staying on the topic of control, you may have noticed that Floyd was also controlling Pacquiao off of his jab, and this was done to prevent return fire. You may have noticed Floyd shooting the jab, and instead of retracting his hand, he would leave his hand there and control Pacquiao's head. This was done to prevent the counter left hand from Manny Pacquiao. The other thing you notice is Floyd stepping his lead foot to the outside as he leads with a straight right hand down to the body, which is of course what you do with the southpaw. You don't want to be typically using the left jab to the body with a southpaw, because you can be countered with the hook or the straight left hand. So what you want to do, or even uppercuts as well. So what you typically do is you lead with the right hand instead. Let us never forget how effective Floyd Mayweather's right hand to the body can be versus the southpaw. Here versus Shambar Mitchell, you see how Floyd quite literally stops Shambar Mitchell with a right hand to the body. As we continue with the technical review, Manny Pacquiao is simply one of the best at splitting the jab of a conventional opponent. This is something I've broken down in previous film study videos. You notice that as Floyd was utilizing this jab in the fourth round very effectively, Pacquiao begins to get a reading signal and a timing signal on that jab. And of course, we see Pacquiao land this left hand, which does stun Floyd momentarily. Now you notice what has happened in this fight is that both Floyd and Manny are beginning to look for counters now. So Floyd has been able to effectively neutralize Pacquiao to the point where Pacquiao is looking for single counters, and he did so effectively in the 4th round, to the point where he did have Floyd on the ropes, and you see Manny Pacquiao go, into a flurry, and he is able to win round 4 based on his activity on the ropes here. And even though Floyd did block a number of these punches, Pacquiao does a lot of good work in this round. After Pacquiao flurries, he steps back, and as Floyd steps off the ropes, he can see that Pacquiao is actually setting a trap for him. This is a trap that Pacquiao has set and sprung on previous opponents in previous fights. When Pacquiao flurries like that, his opponents typically become aggressive and overly aggressive, and they become willing to get into exchanges with Manny Pacquiao, in which case Pacquiao is looking to slip and counter during those exchanges. Just like you see with Antonio Margarito, who would walk into counters being too aggressive with Manny Pacquiao. This is one of the reasons why many people think Floyd actually didn't do enough in this fight, because he was playing it safe not to become too aggressive with Pacquiao, because if you get into an exchange with Manny Pacquiao, he will catch you during the exchange.
Right, I'm okay, but look at this. That's a right hand.
Walking on the big punches.
Stopped him in his tracks, Glenn.
Throughout the round, he really got in a rhythm now, as Margarito is very, very tired.
So this is a perfect example of what everybody who faces Manny Pacquiao needs to avoid. If you get too confident with Pacquiao in the ring and you become too aggressive with him, even if you're winning or losing the fight, when you get into an exchange like this with Pacquiao, this is how he turns the tables. Mayweather, on the other hand, was aware of what Manny Pacquiao was trying to do. He was aware of the trap Pacquiao was trying to set, which is why he remains patient. He knew what Pacquiao was looking for and what Manny Pacquiao was asking him to do, and he refused to get involved in that type of exchange. This is the difference between Antonio Margarito, a biological android, and Floyd. I would have also liked to see Floyd looping the right hand more often in the fight, and also earlier in the fight, making good use of variation between straight right hands and looping right hands around Manny Pacquiao's defense. I would have also liked to see him follow up with the left hook after the straight right hands, just like his dad was telling him to do. As mentioned previously, Floyd likes to lead with straight right hands to the body against Manny Pacquiao. This of course being the favorable punch when you're looking to go to the body of a southpaw. Take note of the foot position of Floyd as he steps his lead foot to the outside of Manny Pacquiao's lead, in other words bringing his straight right hand in line with Manny Pacquiao's body. Again, we see Floyd timing Manny Pacquiao with the right hand as he tries to gain lead foot dominance on Floyd. You see, as Pacquiao steps that lead foot to the outside, Floyd catches him with the right hand. This is no different from what he did with Victor Ortiz, as you see, in quite the exact same location. This is one of the craziest things as you compare the images. Not only is it in the exact same corner at the MGM Grand, the exact same venue, the exact same location, Floyd catches Manny Pacquiao in the exact same way that he catches Victor Ortiz, as they both try to establish lead foot dominance on Floyd. Thanks for watching this video. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.